The Colts beat the Texans 30-23 on Sunday. And the story to me is obviously the Colts quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Remember, he was the backup at the beginning of the year, and then Andrew Luck retired. That curveball nobody expected. On Sunday, he was 26 for 39 passing at 326 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a fumble. But I just want to say, if anybody doubts Jacoby Brissett, stop. Please stop. You're foolish and silly. He's phenomenal. He's really impressive to me. This season, Jacoby Brissett now has 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,388 yards passing, and a 65% completion percentage. And his team is now 4-2 with back-to-back wins over Patrick Mahomes and now Deshaun Watson. He's phenomenal. I love it. And this is a big win for the Colts. Their defense played great. I was really curious to watch what kind of coverage the Colts defense played. I think it would have been very silly for the Colts to try to play man coverage. So when the Colts played the Kansas City Chiefs a couple weeks ago, what worked for them was man coverage and really, holding down, playing press man coverage against the Chiefs because they have very limited wide receivers. Well, that wouldn't work if you're playing against the Texans because the Texans have DeAndre Hopkins and Kiki Kuti and Will Fuller and Kenny Stills. And by the way, it's funny, the Colts, in spite of changing their coverage, 2 receivers for the Texans, DeAndre Hopkins and Kenny Stills still had each over 100 yards receiving. But they played a lot of zone coverage. They made a change. They didn't play man coverage. And all things considered, playing against a great quarterback and a great offense, I really think that the Colts defense did a great job. Here's what really impressed me. Not only was it their versatility, the ability to go from playing fantastic man coverage to now playing fantastic zone coverage, but the way they got pressure with their defensive line, with a 4-man rush, with a 5-man rush. Oh my gosh. It's so hard to beat the Colts because they can get pressure without sending extra guys after the quarterback. Their front 7 is incredible. And just, I am so impressed with this Colts defense. They're a force to be reckoned with, and they're really scary. They're just really, really good. They're a defense that, with Jacoby Brissett playing really, really well, and this great defense, Jacoby Brissett's good enough to win a Super Bowl. Absolutely. Think of quarterbacks that have a defensive-led team that's won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco with the Ravens. I'd take Jacoby Brissett over Joe Flacco any day. There was a lot of teams in the past that have, the Bears got to the Super Bowl with a great defense, but Rex Grossman, their quarterback, wasn't good enough. Jacoby Brissett is good enough. He's not the most impressive quarterback in the entire NFL. I will admit that. Jacoby Brissett is not an elite quarterback, but he's somewhere a little bit above the Dak Prescott territory. Jacoby Brissett's the real deal. He's good enough to win a Super Bowl. He might be better. I just don't know him well enough. And so I am so impressed with him. This Colts defense combined with Jacoby Brissett and their awesome, well-designed offense by Frank Reich. Man, the Colts are a scary force to be reckoned with. And I am concerned for anybody who plays against them coming up. I will also say, Texans fans are going to comment this. They're very angry. They will say that the ref stole a touchdown from them. There was a play where Deshaun Watson threw the ball as he was getting sacked. He released the ball. He got taken to the ground. Incidentally, the receiver caught the ball and ran for a touchdown pass. It was like they were on the red zone. It's very short. It's not like he ran 70 yards. He ran like 2 yards, was in the end zone. But the refs said they blew the play dead. So the Texans kicked the field goal instead. And you can say, well, the refs stole a touchdown from the Texans. Here's a twist in the story. However, on a touchdown later in the game, there was a play where the Texans scored a touchdown on a play where they had multiple guys moving, and not everybody was set at the line of scrimmage, and they snapped the ball in spite of not having everybody set, and it wasn't called. The refs could have easily taken that touchdown off the board. So it's bad refereeing either way. It's bad officiating on both plays. But in my mind, they offset each other. You can say, well, we got robbed out of a touchdown, and the Colts got robbed out of stopping a touchdown. So the two of them combined, both plays are horrible officiating. But if you're a Texans fan, don't complain that your team got screwed out of a touchdown, because the Colts defense got screwed out of stopping a touchdown when you had multiple people moving at the line of scrimmage and the ball got snapped, which should have been, I forget what's the word? This happens sometimes, or you're just blanking on the name of something. Someone will comment the name of this penalty. I'm so sorry. I don't know it. I'm having a moment where you blank. It's my job to talk. It's so hard. The point is this, is that really to me, the story of this game is Jacoby Brissett is phenomenal. The Colts defense is terrifying. And the Colts are legit. They have a chance to win a Super Bowl. I was really very, skeptical. When Andrew Luck retired, I was like, yeah, this team, I don't know what to make of them. The truth is the Colts are really good. They've beaten good teams. And when you look ahead at the rest of their schedule, they have 3 games that are tough. That's it. The rest of their games are kind of cupcake games you can win. Every game in the NFL is a good game. Every team has a chance every week because that's how the NFL works. It's not like college football where you're having Clemson play New Mexico State out of Albuquerque. It's every team is good and capable of winning a football game. But if you look ahead at the Colts schedule, they have, they play at the Texans in November. They play at the Saints in December. Then after they play the Saints, they play the Panthers. There's 3 games that are tough left for the Colts. After that, oh man, they're in great shape. And so, the Colts are sitting pretty. I think they're likely either an 11-5 team, a 12-4 team, maybe even a 13-3 team. But the Colts are in the conversation as a playoff team and definitely should be in the conversation as a Super Bowl team. They're incredible. To me, the NFL is going to boil down to the Colts, the Saints, the Patriots, and then maybe the Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes does something incredible. I think the Packers are in that conversation too. But those are the teams I think have a chance to win a Super Bowl. And the Colts right now are in the top 3 with the Patriots, the Saints, and then, of course, the Colts. I was really, really impressed with what they did this week and the work they've done all year. They're just a really good football team. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to be very clear and open with the audience. My YouTube channel is monetized. What that means is that some of my videos make ad revenue. It's fewer than you think. A lot of them get claimed. But in the past, I've received donations from people on Patreon and PayPal. PayPal.me/Zach Schaumler. Patreon.com/Zach Schaumler. And because I'm making ad revenue, it felt kind of weird just receiving donations. I wanted to give something back for the donations. And so people who support me on Patreon can give me $1 a month, and that allows them access to a pool where they can ask questions. If you send me questions through Patreon's DM service, you comment on one of my posts on Patreon. If you give $1 a month, you can submit questions. And with my eyeballs, I look at every single question submitted. Then at the end of my podcast, I pick the best top couple questions and read them on the show and answer them in a segment I call Ask Zach. Now that's for people who have money and want to support me that way. If you have no money to give, no problem. I totally understand. I grew up in a mobile home. I've been a broke college kid. I totally get it. But if you want to help in some capacity at the end, you can support the show by telling your friends about it. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about this show. It would mean a lot to me. If you believe in my dream and you believe in this show, tell your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Guys, my name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so very much, and hope you have a great day.